points that, Ben. 3-0 does not really reflect the way the game went, but we'll take it.
Yes, we will, especially in a week where many of the various rivals are now playing important late-stage knockout cup ties. Chelsea, having been knocked out, doesn't necessarily look like the worst thing right now. So we'll go into Christmas on the back of a victory, and we will regroup. Jason and I will be with you from the Emirates on Boxing Day. Hope you all have a lovely Christmas. Jason will be with you with the Matchday Live team before that anyway. I'm going to go and speak to Frank Lampard and some footballers. But for now, it's goodbye from me and him with a full-time scoreline, if you can believe it, of Chelsea 3, West Ham 0, and the Blues are up to 5th.
Welcome back to Matchday Live. A Tammy Abraham double adds to that Thiago Silva header in the first half for the Blues, who score 3 and secure 3 points. That is, of course. Premier League is looking a lot tighter at the top. We'll come to the congested top end of the table. But Dan, Tammy Abraham, we mentioned him at halftime. We mentioned how unselfish his running is, and that sometimes he doesn't quite get the rewards that he deserves. Well, tonight he's got 2 goals from sort of very few actual cut-out chances. So it's a good result and a fantastic performance from Tammy.
Yeah, and to be fair, the goals almost came as accidents to him, but he did a lot of hard work to be in those positions. Chesting off the ball for the last goal, and then obviously just being instinctive and being a striker and running towards goal. I'm not sure if he anticipated Werner scuffing a shot, but he was there nonetheless and put it away. And we needed that because I feel like we were riding our luck a little bit. And we needed a goal just to show us just a bit of space and give us some time.
I think it's kind of, by the way, in the background here. Sorry for butting in, excuse me. I was just saying, it is. You do create your own luck, don't you, Dan? Like, yeah. It's like the hard work you do without people seeing. He didn't have to be in that position. He's anticipating Werner potentially not actually finishing that chance. So you have to give credit to him where credit's due. And if the dog's barking, he's called Trevor and he's saying hello. So hello.
Good work, Trevor. 3-0 win. Trevor's getting involved. I love it. Big fan of Tammy Abraham. I rate that. No, but Clay, you're spot on, because that work rate is something that does go, unnoticed sometimes, and especially for the Timo Werner goal where Timo's shooting. Let's have it right. Timo's shooting, and everyone thinks I didn't celebrate until we were back at the centre circle because I thought he's got to be offside. You can't. He was free inside the 6-yard box. He pokes it in, but it's that unselfishness and that running and that wanting to get into the right positions, even when the ball isn't always coming. And I suppose when you are a centre forward, you have to make those runs 10 times a game, knowing that you might only get the chance once a game, Claire.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people don't see that. You don't see, especially when we watch on TV, you don't actually get the opportunity to see the runs off the ball, them little darts of movement that create space for other people. The unselfishness is a reason why he's in that team. It's the reason why Frank believes in him. It's the reason why he's choosing the players that he does. Because, yeah, we can all see people scoring amazing goals, but it's that doggedness, it's the hard work, it's the dedication to implementing what Frank has told him to do. And look, I think it's a strange victory, wasn't it? But I think overall, we can say the levels have increased. And, we touched a little bit on the Declan opportunity, didn't we? But hopefully one day he'll be in our team, so we can talk about him scoring our goals. But yeah, just go back to Werner and Tammy. The hard work that goes into actually creating them chances is exactly why they're in the starting lineup.
Claire touched on it there, Dan. It wasn't a classic performance, but I suppose it's one of those performances that you file under necessary of getting a result. You come away for a 3-0 win. West Ham will probably be coming away confused how they've not got at least a goal on the scoreboard from the amount of possession they've had and the chances. And obviously they've had the ball in the net twice, like Claire said, through Declan Rice and Jarrod Bowen. But it's one of those games where we said beforehand it's important to get a result tonight, and everything else is kind of secondary. You have to get through games sometimes. And Chelsea come away 3-0 winners and not been at their best. And that really shows the level that we expect of Chelsea, because they put themselves that high, and the performance and the results we've seen come hand in hand. So maybe this is the sort of springboard more than anything. Wasn't a classic, wasn't the best performance that we'll ever see, but that's exactly what we needed tonight. Yeah,
in many ways, winning like this is nicer than winning 6-0, from the first minute. It's a good trait to have, to be able to not play extremely well and to come away with 3 points. And a 3-0 win, that flatters us big time. It really does. So, we dug deep. We knew it was going to be a tough fight. The scoreline doesn't represent it, but it was a very important win, a very, very needed win.
Sorry for not waiting for you, Jay. We were just all a little bit giddy to get on and have a chat about it. But what are your thoughts on Tammy Abraham? We're just touching on how, before the game we said about his unselfishness and his work rate, and tonight he's rewarded with that exact work rate and getting in positions and sort of being in and around in the right areas. He gets 2, I'm going to say tap-ins, but they were difficult tap-ins, but he's taken them really well, performed really well tonight.
Yes, he has. It was a game really that he didn't really have a lot of help, did he? Let's be right. We didn't play well tonight, and we couldn't get up the pitch to help him. And he was living off scraps, long balls. Mendy was playing ball. Mendy's ball for one of the goals, I can't quite remember which one it was. I think it might have been his first, when he's drilled it where Ogbonna can't get over him. He's chested it down. Too many of the balls were over his head. I mean, when I wanted to play balls down the channel, so any balls that's overhit, the goalkeeper can't get them. But then he balls over. And he battled away, Tammy. It wasn't the most fruitful night up until he got the goals, but he took his goals well. One of them, the tight one, was harder than it looked. The first one, he's make sure he's got to get something on it. He might have been thinking of offside, but how was that 3-0? I don't know. I don't know. I'll take it, obviously, but we didn't play well tonight, and we'll take the 3 points.
So something needs to be said as well, about the back four tonight, because obviously Aspi and Emerson as well, comes in for the injured Chilwell, 8-10 minutes into the game, but they've had to do a lot of defending tonight. And realistically, like we were just chatting a minute ago, saying although West Ham seemed to have quite a lot of the ball and sort of there was a lot of aerial sort of balls put in and half chances, they didn't really create anything, and that's down to defence standing up to that tonight.
I thought we defended those particular situations very well. Set pieces, balls out in wide areas, even in open play, set pieces from wide areas, not just corners. I thought we as a unit defended them really well. And you're right, Aspie was excellent. Emerson come in and coped incredibly well. It was a tricky afternoon. So a tricky evening for those boys, because they were put through a lot of work. And I don't know whether you guys noticed this, but at the full-time whistle, every single one of our back four had his hands on his knees, bending over. And that gives you some idea as to how much work they were put through. They credit West Ham. They played well. They asked a lot of questions, but really, Mendy didn't have a lot to do. I don't remember too many saves that he made. There were moments, and they carried a real threat, and the threat was real. But I thought we dealt with it very well.
Claire, when you come out of a game like tonight, when like we've all said, you've come away with a result where you've needed a result. You've dug in. You've perhaps had to, I suppose, win ugly is the term that a lot of people will use. But you've had to do that. You've had to get a result, and you've shown that character and that belief. Does that give you an extra sense? It's more than just a win tonight. Bearing in mind that mental barrier that people have been questioning for this team the last 3 or 4 days, they've come out tonight and kind of put those to bed.
But we see winning teams winning in really ugly ways, and I think this evening we've seen that 100%. It wasn't pretty. At some stage, I don't think we had a great deal of control at. Well, to be fair, for the majority of the game, I don't really think we had a grasp of it. I think it bypassed a few players, but we managed to dig it out, didn't we? We dug in deep. And as Jason was saying, we didn't see the defenders kind of just huffing and puffing after the game, but that just shows how difficult it would have been for them. And when you're getting challenged over the top, you're having to think about your spatial awareness. Do I drop now? Am I going to step up? Like what? It's a constant mental. We tap into the organisation side of things, but there's a lot of concentration, and people don't really really fully understand that concentration that goes into it. So the dogged and the ugly stuff is actually more tiring than the pretty stuff. So I think hats off to the defence, hats off to the players that have come in. And look, we can't dwell too much on the performance not being good. We have to just pat on the back. We won the game, 3 points, happy days, on to the next.
Dan, at half-time, you, Claire and Jason all pointed out and highlighted Mateo Kovacic, and perhaps it was a game that he could come on. Felt when he come on, he did exactly what we expect of Mateo, which is kind of dig in, get the ball, try and calm things down, settle things, make tactical tackles when they were needed. And I thought he was very good when he come on. What did he come on with? About half an hour to go? I thought he'd done really well. Yeah,
game seemed to change a little bit in our favour when he did get on the pitch. Just smart decisions I see him make, that kind of free us up and buy us a little bit more time. And sometimes he takes on a lot of the pressure himself. When that outball does happen, there are players immediately in space. Look, as Claire said, we probably didn't manage to get a grasp on this match fully, but we certainly got a better foothold in it when Mateo Kovacic got on the pitch.
Jay, just a little word on Timo Werner as well, because he's been very open and very honest in the last couple of days about speaking how difficult it's been since he's come in. He's adapting to life in the Premier League. He's adapting to life in England and at Chelsea and everything like that. We've mentioned on this show, we see his work rate. We see him every game. We see his numbers are still stacking up. You know what I mean? Like some players won't get to the number he's got to already by the end of their first season in the Premier League. So he's not doing poorly, but I think when you've got a player that's so open like that, it's refreshing to hear, but also you can see how hard he's working every game. Even when things aren't quite going his way or he's not quite getting the rub of the green, you can see that work rate and his willingness to make it right, as it were.
I don't think there's any question about the effort and the work rate that he puts in. The things that I'm noticing in his game is his first touch. He could have had 2 or 3 today. If his touch was a bit better. Okay, the chance for Pulisic to put him in was a little bit under him. Could have been played earlier. But if his touch is spot on, he might get his shot away a bit earlier. Just in there, the second half, the ball come over, his touch, he takes it to his left. He gets the shot away, the touch with his right, and it gets taken away from him. The shot that he's had as well, which crashed off the crossbar, he's put everything through it. He does everything right, except the ball hit the back of the net. The currency in which he deals in is goals. Yes, he's chipping in with assists, and those numbers are nice, but ultimately he needs to get himself a goal. And you do feel that he needs it quickly, because when that chance went and it hit the crossbar and goes over, I watched him put his body in, his head was down, staring at the ground, and I think we can all guess what he was probably thinking. What have I got to do to score? Because the chances are there. And as long as the chances keep coming, I mean, no doubt, he'll start hitting them in. He'll hit the back of the net. And once that happens, I think they will come regularly. But it's the basics now that he's not quite getting right. That first touch to set himself, to get his shot away, to get the goal. So it kind of deserted him a little bit, but his work rate's never in doubt.
Claire, is there a fatigue element? Is there a confidence element? What do you think the overwhelming thing is?
You know what? I think confidence plays a big part, doesn't it? When Morata came, he touched on confidence, didn't he? I think he commented many times about his lack of confidence when he was playing at Chelsea. Jason's hit the nail on the head there. It needs to come soon, because the longer it goes on, the more you start thinking. Sometimes you can overthink things. He can read the play. He knows what's happening. He might be overthinking it. It's a natural thing for him to score. As soon as he starts overthinking it, it's going to become an issue. I did the same. I was like, oh, come on. I feel for him, because he gets himself in the right positions, doesn't he? Like, what more can he do? It is that touch. Like, Jason, what do you think? What does he actually do to improve on that? Is it training? Like, I feel frustrated for him.
Do you know what? Clive Allen, who I played with here, what he said, when he was going through a bad spell, all he used to do was just get in front of goal from different angles, left foot, right foot, hit the back of the net. Get used to that feeling again. And don't smash things. And if there is a criticism, maybe he hit it a little. Maybe there was that sense, I've got to score. And he's maybe in a Timo in 3 months' time when he's scoring goals, maybe he takes his time a little bit more. Maybe the confidence is there. But yeah, I think getting back to basics on the training ground, and it'll come. He's getting into those areas. There's no doubt that he's finding those spaces. He's getting into those areas. He's having chances. He just needs one to hit the back of the net. And how it comes right now, I don't think we care.
Against Arsenal, I reckon.
Well, look, fingers crossed, right?
Okay, I'm just going to hand over now to the brilliant Brennan Andrews, who's down at Stamford Bridge, got a little bit of post-match interview for us.
OG.
None of them started. Right. Well done, Tammy. It didn't feel like a 3-0 game, to be honest, watching it. Did it feel like a 3-0 game to play in?
Everyone keeps saying this. It did on the pitch.
Did it really? Okay.
You know, to be fair, give credit to West Ham. They're a good side, and you know we had to be patient for the second and third goal, and we defended well as a team. And you know, luckily for me, I was in the right places to get them 2 goals.
The first one of yours, obviously Timo hardly got hold of it at all. He's just clothed it. Did you know? I know I'm on here because Cresswell's played me on.
You know,
you look pretty confident.
This is something I used to practice in school and in the park, you know, just getting in the box and, you know, when my friends are taking shots on goal, whatever it was, cross shot, you know, I had to anticipate and had to get in the right area. You know, I'll give Timo the benefit of the doubt that it was a cross, so, yeah, it was a great ball, great goal.
You're up to 7 now, I think that is, all competitions. The other 2 have got 8. It's, you know, spreading it around well. We've had 13 different Premier League scorers as well, including Thiago Silva now. That is a good spread. We're not sort of reliant like some clubs are on, you know, 1 or 2.
Yeah, we can get goals from different areas of the pitch, and you know that's what I love about this team. You know, you don't feel as much pressure as a striker because you have great players behind you that can score goals. So, you know, for us it's just about scoring goals, getting the 3 points, and getting wins like today.
And I know it's probably a smaller Christmas do for you, but I know there's a fair bit of Arsenal in the Abraham family, if I remember rightly, and someone got the winner there, I think, this time last year. There'll be a bit flying about the table.
Of course, you know, my family have grown up big Arsenal fans, so it'll be nice to go home with the 3 points so I can rub it in.
Have a good Christmas, Tammy.
Thank you very much.
Glad you're back.
I mean, Tammy's talking about Arsenal there. Obviously, it's a nice way to come into it and talk about the big game, I suppose, in, 5 days now. Arsenal 15th in the table. Stop smiling, Dan. Childish. Lost 8 games this season already in the league. But Dan, you know, let's have it right. We've all got friends that are Arsenal fans. We've all seen over the last sort of couple of weeks and months the struggles that they've been having. The problem is, whenever you go into a Chelsea-Arsenal game, it's that typical cliche of the form book almost goes out the window because it's Chelsea-Arsenal. You know, you do always, they still pose a huge threat and a huge problem, and it's going to be a difficult one, but one that Chelsea would expect to win, and one that I suppose we all expect them to win going into it.
Yeah, I feel like we should. I mean, given the current Arsenal team, they're not in a good way. Chances are they'll be without Aubameyang. I feel like we're better than we were last season as well. So I personally think we've just played 3 tougher fixtures than the Arsenal game in Everton, Wolves and West Ham. Obviously, it's Arsenal-Chelsea, and then the occasion comes into it and the game does get thrown into a completely different atmosphere. But just on the basis of the teams we're playing, I feel like Arsenal will be probably the easier game than playing a West Ham or playing a Wolves.
Jay, when you go into a game... When you go into a game like that, because you know, I think we're all very aware that football is quite a fickle business, and if you lose a couple of games on the spin, people are asking questions about the manager, people are asking questions about players. Because Chelsea squad will be very aware of all the questions being asked of Arsenal's players and manager. When you go into a game like that, do you smell blood almost and go, okay, they're here for the taking, or are you very aware that everyone's questioning them, though, so they're going to react? How do you go into it?
Yeah, I mean, I think if there has been one positive for there being no fans in the ground, I think it's Arsenal, really, because you can imagine what their fans would be like, how quick they would be to turn on them. And I think some of the Arsenal players will not feel that pressure because there's no fans there, you know. And had there been a full house against some of the games that I have seen, especially Aston Villa, who dominated from start to finish, those fans will be on their back now. It'll be a very different environment. So I think that perhaps changes it and works in their favour, oddly. You do sense blood, but at the same time, I thought they played well against Everton. I thought they're okay. Everton are a good side on a good run, as we found out. But it's about 3 points. It's not about the manager. It's not about the players. It's not about Arsenal. It's about getting 3 points and maintaining that continued push for Champions League football right now. That's what the main motive will and probably should be.
Absolutely. Well, Chelsea up to 5th after tonight's win, 2 points off second place as well, 6 points separating second and 10th. Just so congested up there. Well, coming up on the 5th stand, there's quite a lot this week, actually. You can see highlights of tonight's match from midnight tonight, of course, on Wednesday afternoon. That's Christmas Eve. Frank Lampard will be speaking to the press ahead of another London derby. This time, yes, it is Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. It'll be a different Christmas for all of us for different reasons, of course, but there's plenty of football coming our way. 2 games in 3 days, in fact. Join us at 4:20 on both Saturday and Monday as we travel to the Emirates first. And then it is Aston Villa back at home, back at the Bridge on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, of course. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay safe. Have a very Merry Christmas from all of us here at Chelsea Football Club. Merry Christmas.